I have decided to build this model as U997. That means I get to paint it in this rather elaborate camouflage scheme. The only problem is that at this scale, I'm not sure that it's even possible. So let's give this a go. The painting guide that I'm using comes from Revell's 1 in 72 scale version of this boat. As such, all the paint colors are specified in Revell paint colors. I've never used Revell paint before, but my local hobby shop stocks it and says it's actually quite good. So I thought I'd give them a go since they also had all of the colors that I needed to paint this camouflage. Looking at this model, I think the easiest way to paint it would be to first paint the camouflage pattern, then mask off the top section of the hull and then paint the lower section of the hull. After that, go to the deck and paint the deck. With that in mind, the first color that needs to be painted is this off-white as the base of the camouflage. It is 98% white, Revell number 5, and 2% Revell 69, granite grey. Out of the bottle, these paints are very thick, far too thick to airbrush, so they need to be thinned down quite substantially. These are true acrylic paints, so they can be thinned with water, but I'm thinning them with Revell Aqua Color Mix, which has a retarder in it to help slow down the paint from drying inside the airbrush. Once the off-white paint has dried, I mask off the waterline. Obviously, this is the waterline when the submarine is surfaced. The main reason for me masking off the waterline is just to help guide me with painting the pattern onto the camouflage. Without it, I wouldn't really know where to stop the pattern. It's just going to help me keep everything in the correct position. With the masking tape in place, the painting of the pattern can begin. This very dark grey is Revell 69, granite grey. All that I've done to it is thin it. Normally when it comes to painting a camouflage pattern, I would create a mask with masking tape and then use that to precisely create the edges of the pattern. But on this boat, it's just too small for that to be practical. I did consider using masking putty to blank out the off-white areas and then airbrush on the pattern, but even that was a bit difficult. The blobs of masking putty that you need are very small, which makes it very difficult for them to actually adhere to the side of the model. So in the end, I decided that the best solution was to simply brush paint on the pattern. This paint does seem to brush paint quite well, and as far as this masking tape is concerned, it's not really doing anything other than helping me know where the waterline should be, so I don't care if it runs underneath the masking tape. I do need to put on a lot of paint because I have thinned this quite a lot for the airbrush, but that's mostly solvent anyway, so it's going to evaporate off and then look just fine. To help me replicate the camouflage pattern as closely as possible, I scaled down the image in the painting guide to the same size as the model and printed it out. While painting, I have this printed out version at the same scale as the model underneath the model so that I can one-for-one copy it across. This helped quite a lot and allowed me to fairly accurately replicate the pattern by brush. While I'm painting like this, it does look like I'm making a horrible mess, but this paint is very thin. It is going to become completely flat when it dries, and I'll be able to easily cover this up with subsequent layers of paint. Once I had finished painting the granite grey Revell 69 on one side of the boat, I decided to move on to putting this squiggly line onto it as well. That's because this is the part of the camouflage that I'm least certain is actually possible. So before I spent time painting the other side of the boat, I wanted to complete one side to know that what I'm doing is actually possible. To paint on this squiggly, wandering line with a paintbrush would be impossible, at least at my skill level. So I purchased a 0.005mm light grey pigment pen to draw on the line. With this pen, drawing on the line is trivial. I just scribble over the area with the pigment pen and it creates a pretty good effect. I'm not trying to exactly follow the same path of this squiggle on the model as in the painting guide. That would basically be impossible at this scale. It is also not something that you're going to notice unless you have the model in front of the painting guide and you're really following that path one for one. I'm not worried about perfectly replicating it. I just want to replicate its effect. One problem with this pigment pen is that the pigment comes out very thin, so it's quite difficult to see on the dark grey. This is something that I'm going to have to find another way to correct. But for now, I'm having fun just scribbling all over the light grey part of this model. Once completed, I'm quite happy with how it looks in the white sections. It's not quite to scale, it's a little bit bigger than it should be, but it's pretty close. I'm really happy with it. Now, if only there's something I can do about the lines that go over the dark grey sections of paint. My thinking here is that it is going to be very difficult to follow this line through. So all I need to really do is create an effect as if there was a line that was going and squiggling over the light grey and dark grey. I don't actually really need to connect up the lines. To draw the squiggle on the dark grey paint, I'm going to use white enamel paint. I'm using enamel paint because it dries slowly, and with the micro amounts of paint that I'm going to be using, I need it to dry slowly. Acrylics will just dry on the brush before I can actually get it onto the model. And I'm going to use a very fine brush. This is a VII brush. With a little bit of white paint on the tip of the brush, I then just scribble over the line. In some cases I mess it up and put on a bit too much paint, but that's easily corrected with another layer of Revell 69, and then I just attempt it again until I get the squiggle into a state that I'm happy with. If you get very close to this model and really inspect it, you'll see what I've done here, but for any normal type of viewing, it looks really good, and it appears as if there's just one continuous squiggle around the entire area. So I'm once again happy with that. At least at this point happy enough to keep it and move on to painting the other side of the boat. The problem is I'm not sure how well this pigment pen ink has stuck to the model, so I want to seal it in before I start handling this side of the boat. To do that, I remove the masking tape and then spray this side of the boat in Mr. Color GX112 UV Cut Super Clear. Once the clear coat has dried, I apply masking tape over the camouflage just to protect it from any overspray, and move on to painting the starboard side of the boat. Exact same process is followed. First, the very light grey or off-white colour is painted as a base, then I brush paint on the dark grey, after which I use the pigment pen to scribble on a squiggly line, then white enamel paint applied with a VII brush to represent the squiggle on the dark grey. Once all of that is done, the camouflage pattern is sealed in with Mr. Color GX112 UV Cut Super Clear. After that is dried, I can move on to painting the lower hull. To paint the lower hull, masking tape is carefully applied to create the waterline, and then the camouflage pattern is masked off with more masking tape. The lower hull is sprayed in Revell 77 Dust Grey. Once the dust grey paint has dried, all the masking tape is removed and the model is remasked such that the entire hull is completely protected with masking tape so that I can paint the deck. The deck is also painted in two colors. There's the wood color for the planking and then some details in a gray. This paint is a combination of 90% Revell 46 NATO Olive Matte and 10% Revell 78 Tank Gray Matte. After spraying the whole deck and giving it some time to dry, all the hatches and metal components are masked off and sprayed with Revell 69 Granite Grey, the same color as the dark sections of the camouflage pattern. For this part of the painting, it's not complicated, it's tedious, and it's tedious because of all the masking of these very small components. I also had to do multiple rounds of masking. The first round was masking of hatches and various metal components on the deck. After that was painted, all the masking tape was removed, and I remasked the entire deck, leaving a small perimeter at the top of the hull, which was then painted also in Revell 69 Granite Grey. Once that layer of paint has dried, all the masking tape could be removed, revealing the fully painted hull. This is definitely not going to be the final look for the hull. It's partly covered in a glass coat that needs to be matted down, but before that, the whole thing needs to be weathered. I am not going to be doing the weathering now. I'm only going to do that after I've installed the conning tower, which I'm going to install in the next video. If you don't want to wait for the scheduled release of videos and want to watch them when they're uploaded, consider becoming a channel member by clicking the join button below. If you would like to support the channel, like and subscribe. And as always, questions are welcome in the comments. Thank you for watching. Cheers.